Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. You are watching the 9 at Night. I'm Stephania Jimenez. Today, a former Bexar County constable found out her punishment for her crimes. We're talking about Michelle Barrientes Vela. Back in September, she had been convicted of 2 felony tampering counts, and now she's been sentenced to 5 years probation and 90 days in jail. That's a lot less than the decade she was facing. Her jail sentence is suspended, though, while she appeals her convictions. The judge in the case told the ex-constable that she had no respect for the law while in uniform, but also pointed out that she's loved and respected by her family. It was that same family, specifically 2 of Barrientes Vela's sons, who exploded in anger as the sentence was read aloud.
There's a 25
This is a day that is long in coming. It has been over 3 years. I know a lot of you have been following this case from the very beginning, and we saw today that justice was served.
I would not call this a victory. I'd call it a pretty bad loss for us in the sense that we believe in Michelle and we believe that she's not guilty.
Now, the appeal is going to take several months at least, and that 5-year probation term is going to begin immediately. Tonight, one man got really lucky. He's in the hospital after he was rescued from his burning home this afternoon. That fire was on the 2100 block of Oak Bend. It broke out a little after noon. When firefighters got there, the house was filled with smoke, and crews were really smart. They worked quickly because they took the man out of the house after finding him unconscious at the bottom of a burned staircase. Investigators at this point don't know where the fire started.
Our units were reporting high heat and zero visibility. That's the most dangerous conditions that we can operate in.
No one else besides the man was hurt, and we're being told that he's now in critical condition at BAMC. So you just heard firefighters saying that they dealt with high heat during that fire today, and you already know how dry it is out there. Here's meteorologist Adam Caskey with your forecast.
Get ready for another big temperature swing tomorrow, from the morning at 43 degrees to the afternoon at 76. So a good 30 degrees temperature rise all across the KSAT 12 viewing area. And maybe a sweatshirt in the morning, but by 10 o'clock it's already 62 degrees, and then we'll top out at 76. Friday morning we're at 50 with some patchy fog, then mid 70s and sunny by the afternoon. Saturday's really the day that stands out. It's going to be damp and drizzly, nuisance moisture to start the day. Noticeable humidity, then some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms, especially along and east of I-35 by Saturday night.
They refused to stop for Bexar County Sheriff's deputies. Deputies say they even rammed into a sheriff's patrol unit to try and get away, but that didn't happen. And now 21-year-old Jorge Jimenez Santos and 25-year-old Stephanie Rosales are in custody after leading police on a chase yesterday. Now, both of them were fugitives initially wanted on federal warrants, but now they're in a lot more trouble because when deputies stopped them, they found more than 1 kilo of meth along with cocaine and marijuana in their vehicles. And by the way, all that stuff was worth about 43 grand on the streets. Deputies also found 2 Glocks, an AR-style pistol, and more than $8,000 in cash in their vehicle. And now Rosales and Jimenez Santos are facing conspiracy to possess charges. She won thousands of dollars from lotto tickets, but now she's really paying the price. 37-year-old Mayra Rios is accused of collecting more than just a paycheck from her former employee. According to SAPD, Rios, who previously worked at an East Side convenience store, stole 30 bundles of lottery tickets worth more than $50,000. Investigators believe it happened over a 3-month period. SAPD says the store owner noticed bundles of tickets were missing, and when he looked at the surveillance video, the owner said that Rios was on camera taking them. According to police, the owner confronted Rios, who admitted to the theft, saying that she'd been keeping some for herself and selling the others.
There was surveillance video that was uncovered by investigators and is still coming in of the suspect going to different locations here in San Antonio, different grocery stores, and also in the Laredo area, and cashing out these winnings.
Now, Rios is charged with lottery fraud and theft, and now SAPD is warning people that all lottery tickets can be tracked. So if you steal one, you're going to be caught. In other news, a man is in the hospital in critical condition after someone shot him last night outside of that bar. Happened outside of the Mustang Sally's on Roosevelt around 2 a.m. An employee told our crew that the shooting was caught on security video, which, by the way, SAPD now has. As for police, and And as police look for the shooter in this case, they're also looking for a driver who hit a man and did not stay to help. This happened around 9 o'clock last night near Thousand Oaks and Perrin Vital. Investigators say the victim was walking in a crosswalk when he was hit. Now, he is expected to make a full recovery, but because the driver didn't stay to help, that person may now be charged. Now, some lawmakers are trying to legalize sports betting and bring more casinos to Texas. A Houston lawmaker wants casinos to go up in 4 Texas cities, and guess what? San Antonio's on that list. RJ Marquez explains why she thinks the bill actually has life despite long odds.
State Senator Carol Alvarado is ready to roll the dice on legalized gambling in Texas.
I believe it diversifies our economy. It makes Texas a destination place with resorts and all sorts of amenities.
The Houston lawmaker recently filed Bill SJR 17. If it were to pass, it would authorize and regulate casino gaming at a limited number of locations in Texas, with San Antonio being one of them.
A casino that has a 4 or 5-star hotel, shops, restaurants, regulations, and everything for a licensee to even bid will be pretty strict.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has opposed any form of legalized gambling in Texas, saying the Senate would not have enough votes to send the amendment to the voters. But Alvarado is optimistic this session because she's started to get bipartisan support.
Gives others that maybe were hesitant a second look and say, well, we're not exactly approving gaming. We're just going to allow Texans to vote on it.
She adds a casino resort could bring thousands of jobs to these areas, including San Antonio, and keep millions of dollars in the state. Texas is one of 14 states that has not approved legalized sports betting.
This is not somebody putting up a slot machine or a jackpot table in a restaurant or bar, convenience store. This is something that will spur some job growth, add value to our economy.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, so now let's talk about jobs. The numbers for November are better than expected. The Labor Department says the country had 10.5 million job openings, which is about 500,000 more than expected. And now all the attention is going to this Friday because that's when the Labor Department is going to release its unemployment report. The country's current jobless rate is at 3.7%. Now, before we go, here's what we're working on for tonight on the Nightbeat: protecting the public from the sky. Police departments are turning to drones for policing, and that includes smaller departments right here in the San Antonio area. And police say that they benefit everyone. Plus,
we see that people just retreat inward, and that may not be the very best thing for them.
we all know that life goes on, but those left behind after a tragedy really struggle to move forward. The signs of survivor's guilt and how it's affecting one Uvalde student months after losing his friends. And right now we are out of time. The 9 at Night returns tomorrow. Have a beautiful night. Stay warm. We'll see you.